changing his name. Like,
we're in the transition period.
All right, so tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so where should I start?
Okay, well, yeah, you were touched, and yeah, ever since then. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I started actually first time I ever rapped on a song, wrote a verse, recorded it. I was 17 years old. Friend of mine, businessman Ease, what he goes by now, Like Blood. He and Bear the One, they was in Like Blood. That was the group, and they used to record. These were friends of mine, and they brought me to the studio because they used to bring me out the house. I had, all right. See, now you calling me out.
You had herpes?
No, I got shot.
Oh, well, that's even worse than herpes.
And while I was going through that whole situation, as friends of mine, they tried to bring me out the house to get me fresh air, get me cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and him ended up going back and forth because they were the rappers, and he was like, you know what, you come to the studio all the time, you're gonna get on a song with us. We argued for over an hour.
Okay. And
then I ended up getting on a song, and then there was no turning back from there. I just kind of just took it and went from there. I just rapped on my own. We became, you know, a group. I was one of the original members of the main Like Blood group, you know, 4 members.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded a mixtape. We went our separate ways, obviously.
Right.
I ended up, you know, bouncing around in different states. I went from here down to Houston, was there for 3 years, and had another rap group, but everybody was from DC.
Right.
And we were called Carpe Diem, and we
seize the day.
Exactly. That's what it was, and that's why we did it. So we had 2.5 mixtapes, and I say 2.5 mixtapes because by the halfway through the third one, we started having problems. And everybody, it was kind of like people grow up and go their own ways.
Who stole whose girl?
It wasn't even about a girl. It was just really, it was just like, you know, like, it was just, when you have a big, large number of people, you know, certain people tend to take, you know, they'll be, these 2 people will be closer than others, and this person will be on his own, this person's making moves here.
Right.
After a while, people just grow up and go their separate ways. So that's kind of what happened. Me, I came back here, and I just been doing my own thing. You know, I had another group, called WRTR, and it was some more people that I grew up with over here in the city.
Awesome.
Then you start to see whose grind is a little bit stronger than others. Some people really want it more than others.
I hear you.
I ended up doing my own solo thing. You know, here I am. I've been out here since, I'd say about 5 years ago in the city. And
so now we flash forward to 2014.
Flash forward. I've got 2 projects under the name of Loudman. And first one is called Highlight. The second one is called Lifestyle. You can get them both on datpiff.com.
Okay.
I've got a lot of stoner music. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Like I'm one of those.
I'm a
really
stoner.
Cool. I like to chill. I like to have fun. I do what I do, and that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like I work hard for what I got to do, and I like to enjoy myself at the end of the day.
Now I got a question for you. It's something that I've always wanted to ask someone. Okay, so you're a little bit more light skinned, or a little bit more fair skinned than
I'm half white and half Colombian.
I'm about to say, ain't no fair nothing.
Let's come straight forward.
Ain't no fair nothing. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, in a community full of black people, are you embraced a lot more? Or are you embraced a lot less?
Are we talking about in the rap community
in
or
the rap
street community?
Both.
Well, in the street community, I was embraced at a young age because I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood, and I went through the same thing that everybody else in the hood was going through.
Awesome.
So nobody where I came from ended up seeing color after a while, and
awesome.
And then when I was outside fighting like everybody else, they was like, okay, well, look, you might think that he's soft and you could play with him, but you know what I mean? Like that's just what happens. Now in the rap community, I have to work a little bit harder than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's and we're not even talking about, you know what I'm saying, because I'm highly against that racism thing. But in reality, me being, you know, my race, I have to work a little bit harder than everybody else in this area.
To be taken seriously and all that?
Yeah, because when I first came out, and I was with Like Blood, for example, I had to learn how to make my own beats because I couldn't even buy a beat from somebody.
Wow.
And you want to really get to it, this dude who I knew who was supposed to sell me a beat, this is what kicked it off. I was going to give him $500 for a beat just because he was playing the whole time about actually letting me get the beat. And he promised me for a month that he was going to give me the beat. And after he turned me down for $500 and gave it to his friend for $20, I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Wow.
So I learned how to make my own beats, and that's what I was doing. So when I came back out in the city, came back from Houston, I was making my own beats. I went down to Houston and was perfecting everything. Matter of fact, the guy that made Awesome,
Right.
that's my man. You know what I'm saying? We used to rap in Carpe Diem together. Man, he used to make beats till 2 in the morning.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And like,
you know what I'm doing at 2 in the morning?
what? I don't know.
Making bacon, but
I dig it.
I'm probably asleep. Go ahead.
No, it was real grind. It was like real, like, you know what I mean? Like really just trying to get out there. And I really had to work hard. But I'm going to tell you, because my big brother right here, D Black, since I came back out here, he's really been like noticing, paying attention. Never saw any color, if that's what anybody wants to know.
Right.
He's the reason why a lot of people started paying attention to me since I came back out here. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. That's good to hear. And man, you hear that clap? You got to work extra hard. So when I'm threatening people, I actually got to go through with cutting them in order to be taken serious.
What? You want that country beat? Oh, okay.
What?
Hey, so what's the vibe in Houston like? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, everybody shows love down there. I'm not even gonna lie to you. For real, they didn't even care we were from DC. They used to recognize us by Houston quote Mickey Mouse socks. Because down there everybody got ankle socks. So we wear grown man socks up here. You know what I mean? Like you actually gotta pull them up and you can actually you know what I mean? So but they call them Mickey Mouse socks.
Uh-oh.
So being that as it was, they recognized us. We were like, oh, we got music. We got this mixtape coming out. We let it be out there. Within the first 3 months, we had songs that was getting played in the clubs. First 6 months, we were giving shows, like headlining shows in downtown Houston at different clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like down south is a whole nother environment than it is up here. Up here, everybody's so quick to hate, but down south, they love everybody.
Something that I always say, Clap, you got another question?
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's easy as an independent artist because they're so willing. There's so many people that don't do what you're trying to do.
Right.
That everybody's trying to be a fan, it seems like. And that's cool.
This is a 2-part question. When you down there, you meet Mike Jones.
So you want to know something about Mike Jones. So when he came out with that Mike Jones, that song up here that everybody knows, right?
Right.
Whole time they don't know that he's had that song. That was his single for 5 years now.
Right.
And he had like 5 or 6 different versions of that same exact song.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, it's cool.
No, they do it, but like by the time they get to the industry, you know what I'm saying? They say, oh, we like this version. And
That's what it really broke down to. But
so how do you feel like in Houston? Like you might be seen as a Latino.
they used to call me essay everywhere I went.
Right, and then up here,
Oh my God.
Up here. Okay, see, I just had to change my whole outer image. You know what I'm saying? Because I had some problems. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to change the way that I looked so that I didn't get harassed the whole bunch.
Okay, here on WRTR, when you say I've had problems, we're inquiring. We're inquiring.
I had a whole bunch of legal problems. I used to have long hair.
You get that roachbug? You had legal problems.
I had
called you for advice.
I had a bunch of legal problems, and it was to the point where the judge told me I had to leave town.
Oh.
And I looked him in the eye and I said, I got a son and I'm not going to leave my son like my father left me, so I'm going to figure it out. So here I am. I changed my image. I changed my whole lane that I'm riding in, and I'm doing something new.
And you changed your name from Loudman to Jet Ray.
And we even talked
Jet Riley.
since before it was even Loudman. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about a whole nother transition. The only reason why I got to change my name from Loudman to Jet Riley is because people hear Loudman, the first thing they want to know is what a Loudman.
Absolutely.
You know, that's cool, but when you start paying more attention to my name than you do my music, me as an artist, you kind of get me lost in the smoke, literally.
Absolutely. Welcome back, D Black. What it do, homie?